There once was a man who walked through death. And found life. A man who forgot he was in fact a magnificent beast. God in disguise, lost in the tangle of his own creation, fueled by atomic rage. A man who had come to believe he was nothing more than a gifted idiot, who had once dared to dream, to believe, and hope. Who had sacrificed himself over and over again. For what? A man so burdened by pain and suffering that he simply lost sight of who he really was as he looked across the wreckage of his life. Poor beast. Smart enough to recognize his own nightmare, yet powerless to make it stop. Or so it seemed. You see, beneath it all, he had a mighty heart. All it ever wanted was to love and be loved, to be seen and to be heard. And yet, somehow he felt invisible, overlooked, rejected by the world around him. Every door in life felt as if it had been locked against him personally. How could he be so stupid, he wondered. If he was so capable, why was he so powerless? And if he was worth anything at all, why was he so damn worthless? None of this was true, of course, and yet he believed every word. The funny thing is, deep inside himself, he really did know better. In his heart, he knew the truth. But for him, this knowledge only made it worse. Once there was a man who walked through death, in search of life, in search of himself. Not what he had become, but his original blueprint. Not the name he was given, or who he was told he should be, or even defined by the events of his life, but as the one who passed through those events. Who was that? Who is the I we speak of when we consider ourselves, he wondered. Who occupies this body? What compels the flesh to animate? And why? Who am I, really? The man had no answer, and so he allowed himself to play a game. A game of what if. In order to play this game, he knew he would need to do something he wasn't very good at. He would need to trust. Trust himself, primarily. If he could do that, why then he just might be able to trust the game. To observe himself without judgment. To look past the identity he had created for himself and remove his mask completely. Well, almost immediately he told himself he couldn't do it. The game didn't feel safe. There were too many rabbit holes, too many variables. The entire prospect of getting to the bottom of it all seemed absolutely preposterous, and furthermore, downright impossible. On the other hand, what if there was simply a choice to be made? To continue the known cycle of control, self-hatred, and destruction? Or let go and allow the unknown to reveal itself? What if he let go of everything? What if every effort, every achievement, every marker of the past was erased? Who would that be? What if every story he's been told, every story he's told himself, was fed to the flames to live no more? After all, they're just stories. And this is just a game, isn't it? Who would remain in that space? What if there wasn't anything at all to figure out or to get wrong? That the purpose of life is simply life. Glorious and perfect in every way. What if there was no punishment for being human, for not knowing what he didn't know, for daring to dream, to believe, and to hope, as any beast would do? What if he wasn't defined by the wounds of his past? What then? To whom does this heart belong, and for whom does it beat so faithfully? This mighty heart, powered by the energy that courses through the very fabric and structure of existence, everywhere, in all its forms. What if every regret, every fear of the future was stripped away? Who would be left to stand in the sacred and eternal now, pulsing with the potential of divine co-creation? Who remains when everything else is set aside? I, came the answer. I am. I am the natural expression of life and all existence. Good, bad, ugly, just, unjust, horrific, and beautiful. Divine consciousness, playing hide and seek with itself, intimately connected to all things and all people, everywhere, all at once. Energy with a consciousness in human form. I am that I am. And that's enough. I am a magnificent beast.